Hi everyone. Thank you so much for watching the videos I've posted so far on marriage. Another perspective today. Um, the biggest red flag in a marriage: inability to communicate. Most people think marriages fail because of lack of love, cheating, money problems, incompatibility. But as a psychologist, I can tell you the most important thing that many marriages break down because two people never learn how to communicate effectively. It is generally one person talking and the other one listening, or both people not talking, or both people not listening. So, I'm talking about the ability to express pain, listen without ego, discuss uncomfortable emotions, prepare after conflict. I'm not talking about that communication means you should shout, you should put your point always. It's about how you deal with various emotional challenges that come in your life. How do you learn to communicate without hurting each other? And this problem is even bigger in Indian context because many of us were never emotionally trained growing up. We were taught adjust, stay quiet, don't argue. What will people think? Ignore it and move on. Um, that's a very classic direction which always girls are told before they prepare for marriage. Ignore, move on. But emotions don't disappear when we suppress them. They still remain. They return through irritation, emotional distance, passive aggression, sarcasm, shutdown, silent resentment. Very common things I find between couples, especially those who've been married for a while. So, why communication is a bigger issue in India? One major issue in Indian families, I feel, is the emotional communication is always replaced by a role based functioning. There is a role which everyone needs to follow. For example, the father's role is to provide, mother sacrifices, children obey. But very few families openly discuss emotional hurt, loneliness, unmet needs, insecurity, vulnerability. So many adults, many people, when they get married, they're emotionally inexperienced. They may be professionally successful, they may be very attractive, looking very attractive, very having very good features. On the outside, everything fine, but emotionally very uncomfortable. Some people can lead hundreds of people in the office, but cannot stay calm, um, cannot stay calm in at home. They cannot even express or even listen to when somebody in the family expresses something to them. The more flexible they are at work, the more rigid they are at home. And because emotional expression feels unsafe, people use indirect methods: anger, silence, taunts, avoidance, emotional withdrawal. So slowly, both partners start feeling emotionally unseen. The silent treatment that's killing, that kills a relationship and a marriage. One of the most damaging patterns in a relationship is emotional shutdown. I see that a lot in my clinic. Now, sometimes taking space is healthy. Having a cutoff from your partner for a while is easy. But there's a difference between I need some time to calm down and I will emotionally punish you through silence. Many couples stop talking not because the issue is solved, but because both people are physically and emotionally exhausted. Over time, this creates emotional loneliness inside a marriage. Imagine living with someone daily, yet feeling emotionally disconnected. That pain is extremely deep, especially because in Indian culture, many people um, cannot even openly talk about marital emotional struggles due to family image and social pressure. Um, can't even go to your parents and talk about it because the moment you talk about them, their parents' own fear will trigger that. Okay, what will society think? So so you should just understand mindset that, please understand, just understand, adjust. So one unhealthy expression expectation that people get into a marriage is, if you truly love me, you should automatically understand me. Love bypasses understanding. Very dangerous. But nobody can constantly mind read another human being. Your partner cannot constantly mind read you. Healthy communication requires clarity. For example, instead of "you never care," you can say, "I feel emotionally disconnected because we don't spend time together." Instead of "you always ignore me," you can say, "I needed emotional support at that moment." When blame reduces, understanding increases. But many people were never taught emotional language, so they communicate through accusation instead of vulnerability. A very big devil that stops um, communication is our egos. In many relationships, the problem is not the issue, it is ego protection. I am right, you are wrong. Because some people think disagreement as disrespect, and that's been carrying on to us in Indian context, that when we disagree in family, we are disrespecting. And we carry the same thing in our marriage as well. The moment conflict starts, defensiveness increases, listening stops. Winning a conversation becomes more important than understanding. And this becomes dangerous in a marriage because marriage is not a debate competition. If your goal is to always win, eventually you win, but the relationship loses. So, how to develop healthy communication skills? I'm also referring to my notes in between so that I don't lose the structure. So the first thing that I can is to learn to express emotions early. Don't store resentment for months. Small, honest conversations prevent emotional expressions later. They prevent emotional explosions later. Sorry. So if you got newly married, or if you're not happy with something, please communicate that. If you start learning how to build it inside, it will lead to resentment. Listen to understand, not to defend. Um, if you are a guy and you get married, a girl comes in your house and she begins to share her discomfort with the house, the family. She's not rejecting you or your family. She's simply expressing her challenges of living in a new place and new people. At that time, you can listen to understand and don't defend. Many times I keep seeing guys trying to defend their families. Oh, they're nice. The problem is not they're nice or not. The problem is your partner needs adjustment. Avoid character attacks. Criticizing behavior is different from attacking identity. Don't attack your partner that you are selfish, you are this. You can say, I feel hurt when you do this. I don't like when you do this. Don't start your conversations and fights with you are this, you are that, you are that. Repair after a conflict. Every couple fights. I am yet to see anybody who doesn't fight. I fight a lot with my wife. Healthy couples are not couples who never fight. Healthy couples are those who reconnect after conflict. So always communicate after a conflict. Don't sit over it. Learn to sit and resolve it. Emotional safety matters more than words. So your partner should feel emotionally safe enough to speak honestly. If you don't have the right words to repair a conflict, simply go and hug your partner and tell them that I will still try and learn. Uh, in India, many marriages suffer because conversations are replaced by assumptions, and I would like to clarify and just remove them from your head. Number one, husband assumes wife should automatically adjust. No, sir. It can't happen like this. Um, Look things from her perspective. Wife assumes husband should automatically understand emotional needs. Your husband has never been trained on it. Unless you tell him what you're feeling and what you want, he will not learn it. Parents interfere instead of couple communicating directly. So if you get parents involved in between, the communication will be lost forever. Difficult topics are avoided until resentment becomes huge. So you learn to talk to each other about anything and everything. So, um, so before marriage, don't only ask that do we love each other, but ask yourself, can we communicate during discomfort? Because attraction is easy during peaceful moments. You can get together, get close, but that doesn't mean you can communicate. Real compatibility is revealed during misunderstanding. When you or your partner is in stress and is disappointed, how do you communicate? How do you create emotional safety for each other? If you had to choose one quality for a healthy marriage, what would that be? Love, trust, respect, or communication? What would you choose and why? Write in the comments, and that will really help. Thank you.